and I'm going to share it on
And
Carrie's page. So
welcome to
like it.
Power Up Lunch and Learn, guys. How your bees? Who you smoke trees with? I'm Curie Woods, Maryland House Pros, and this is
Here you go, Dwayne. Did Mama tell you stop saying
what?
that?
Yeah,
Mama told you stop saying that.
what? Freedom of speech.
Good morning. Yep, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Are we good, or do I need to move down
You
some?
good?
And send me a video because I'm going to share it. And we are starting. We just was talking live about community and being one universe, one community, one people. What you want to add in?
Go ahead.
I've been talking for 30 minutes.
I know. That's what you was talking 30 minutes off air. Everybody with us now. Now you need to redo everything you were saying, and you need to bring that back. You were just talking to your crowd. You need to talk to the world. We need to tell the
Well, I
world
was
what we
talking
got.
about being one.
Ain't that right, world?
One universe, one world, one community, one embodiment
Talking
of
like-
people. And what I was saying is that a few weeks ago, I took the SIPS class, and what
What's
was
SIPs?
Certified International Professional. And a lot of things that we learned was about other cultures. And some things I already knew, but it just is so mind-blowing all the time, especially with everything that's going on in the world and the United States especially, that we as a people are the only culture that don't come together to support each other. So what I was saying is, even though this show is, people think primarily real estate, it's also about community. So it's Power Up, Lunch and Learn, but it's the Power Up is about powering each other to be a better community and a better force. So what I was saying when I was ending the call, that I've decided to donate from each of my settlements money that goes towards ending homelessness and mental health.
Good.
What's the day for? That's the day's date.
Yeah.
So what about?
Future reference. Go ahead.
Oh, for future reference back. Okay, August 27th, 27th. You can't write no date now. You should have wrote with it, man.
That's today's date.
I'm like, hold
This
on.
is today's date. Keep track of the notes so we know what day they were made. She's like,
came
what's
in here and
that?
screwed me all up.
Oh.
Now I'm all off now.
Oh, how y'all bees? Hey, keep in mind, guys, if you but any in the market to buy or sell real estate, whether it's traditional or non-traditional, we definitely can help you guys out. I'm a real estate investor. I buy and sell houses all day, and Harriet actually own her own brokerage where she has agents, and we can help you. If you have a house, we can help you. Whether you want to sell it traditionally or you want to sell it to an investor, either way, it doesn't matter because we can guarantee to sell to your house 100%. So whether you got an inherited house, fire damage, going through divorce, foreclosure, whatever it is, call us now. Don't wait till you get the day of the auction and you stand on the courthouse steps. It's like we can try to help you, but chances are it's not going to help.
Yes, and you know what else?
Mm-hmm.
Because we encountered last week.
Yeah.
Please, people, I know that you need money, and these people who are calling you when you own your home free and clear to do these reverse mortgages.
Yeah.
Don't do that. These people are stealing your house, and they're taking advantage of a lot of folks because of their mental conditions or their illnesses or them being frail or in bad situations. Don't do that. And other people, please stop allowing them to do that to your family members, because they're stealing your family members' homes, and they're stealing the equity out of their houses, because I had a couple encounters this month with that situation.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Before you sign anything that you don't know about, definitely check with somebody else first. Take it to an attorney. A lot of times these attorneys will review your paperwork for free.
Yes.
For free. Don't take these financial institutions. Don't take their word for it. Say, hey, we can give you all this money and you got to pay it back when the house is sold 20, 30 years in the future. That sounds great, right? But hey,
Yeah.
they're not going to give you no free money. What you have to do, what else is involved? And then basically, pretty much you signing your house over to these guys. You can stay there until you pass away, but guess what? That house is no longer yours and you don't know it, but you signed it over.
Oh, absolutely. So please, please, if you're not sure about somebody calling you from the blind trying to assist you,
Oh, yeah.
call an attorney or, call somebody
Call a
that
real
you-
estate agent.
Call a real estate agent or, call a family member who may be versed in this information or somebody that you trust because you don't want them to steal your home. That's something that you have worked hard for and paid for. You don't want to just give it away. And it just sounds very enticing when they're saying, hey, you know what, you own this house free and clear. You don't have to worry about this. This is money you can get until you pass away. But then you may be in a bad situation and run behind and can't pay them and they want their house.
Yeah, they're the ones that right now, what they telling the people, get out, trying to force them out the house.
Yes,
so
and
can
they have these people
sell
as a tenant, taking advantage of people while they're the
Yeah, it is
young
sad,
lady's husband is going through dementia. That's not cool at all. And I know that, sometimes, like I said, we're in bad situations, but sometimes you are anxious and a bad situation can lead to a worse situation. So definitely, call an attorney, call a realtor, call a family member who you really, really can trust.
Also, those payday loans, guys, you're going to get those payday loans. Be careful what you signing, especially if you signing over a vehicle that you own free and clear, or you signing over a house, that you actually have a note on, or you have free and clear. Because a lot of times you sign the paperwork, and even though you pay back that loan, guess what? You just borrowing or you leasing that vehicle back from them because you actually gave it to them in your original paperwork. So watch what you're doing. You need money. They got traditional lending institutions out here that always give you money.
Absolutely, they are definitely
They are
a
a
trap.
trap. They are a trap.
They are a trap. And another thing that has to do with community, because a lot of people, we get so angry that if you look in the community, all these folks who are owning these businesses have stole our businesses. Well, I can't say stole. They sold them because, people said, hey, here goes some money and let's buy them. We need to rebuild our communities and rebuild, business. I'm proud to be, a black owner, and somebody can come and offer me $7 billion and I need it, but you can't have my business because it's so much more to money, because at the end of the day, you can have everything that you need. And God knows I love to be able to buy some shoes whenever I can buy some shoes. But what I've learned more importantly than any of that, the thing that I want most, I can't even buy that with money.
Nope.
You
Nope.
know?
Especially-
So,
Go ahead. Especially in the communities, man, you got to support those businesses that support your community. If they set up in that community and they drawing all those funds, and at the end of the day they don't spend a dime in that community, they don't get back to that community, guys, don't support that business. I hate, this is the only store we can go to. Where else we gonna go? Build your own, damn it. Especially in Prince George's County, guys, you have the most wealth of all black people right there in Prince George's County. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Build your own. Go buy you a farm instead of buying your Mercedes, and grow your food and put it in a store. But if they don't support your community, and I'm strong on that, if they don't support your community, they don't put back in your community, and all that money is going into that establishment, don't go to them. Go find somebody that's going to support your community. Go find somebody that look like your community and support that community. Other communities do it. Why don't you?
absolutely.
Don't make sense.
And don't do it for a short time when we got an
Exactly.
incident that's going on and people like, well, don't shop on Christmas and Black Friday,
Right.
and don't go support the black banks. They do it for a short time, and then it's like they don't
Yep.
even do it anymore because now
Okay.
the time has passed and nobody's talking about whatever drastic situation is going on. But this is like forever. Think about your children. Think about your grandchildren. Think about your children's children. It's bad enough they're trying to wipe out, history, because when you look down, because I'm thinking about when my grandchildren's grandchildren have children, and we've all agreed to take down these daggone flags that everybody's talking about. Then what they
Yeah.
going to talk about? They ain't even going to know the history because And everybody's saying, yeah, take it down, take it down. Yeah, take it down and wipe it out. So it's no history of what has happened. It's not a great part of history, but it is, unfortunately, it's history.
That's true.
And, stop letting these people,
if you look at the history, I forgot the
brainwash.
The statue they took down in New York. And erased a lot of history when they took down that statue. And I'll get that information on you guys, but it was a very important statue, but nobody knows about it because that statue was taken down. But, I'm like, it is what it is. I don't care how you guys feel. It's just my opinion. Those statues are history. They can be there. So when your kids point and ask that question, you know who they are.
Right, and you can tell them.
Yep.
Like, unfortunately, history is history, whether it's good or bad. It doesn't, those tragedies sometimes make you the better person. We got to take the good and the bad.
Yep. So when you start erasing history, forget all about those guys. You forget where you came from. You be like, oh wow, then generation after generation don't know. So if you can start, if that starts today, like now, I can tell you, like I didn't know a lot about Black history till I started watching Roots. I was never taught that in school. When I started watching Roots, it opened my eyes. But if that TV show would have never came on, I would have known a lot about history. And I started researching more. The more I researched, the more I learned. I learned so much about Black history, but it's way, way before slavery, guys. If you want to research, go start researching way before slavery and see how rich and empowered we were as Black folks. But, the only thing they're going to give you is slavery, what they did. Even with the new museum that's down in D.C., they don't go way before slavery and tell you the whole history of Black people. That's something you're going to have to research yourself, and it's powerful. So when you start researching, you're going to be very, very intrigued.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I totally agree with you guys, no matter what this is.
Absolutely. Mama Celeste, it definitely is, no matter what, it's a part of our history. And when they try to erase that, they're erasing us, and then they're brainwashing a lot of us.
There you go, Tawan.
Yep, kings and queens, they're when they try to erase that, they're you go ahead, because I can't even talk now because you are crazy. This jokester right here. I'm going to have to call Mama Cece. Helen.
Let's talk about some real estate.
Let's talk about some real estate.
Let's talk about the real estate process. What it takes, where we got to start. If I wake up in the morning and say, hey, you know what? I want to buy a house. I got all this money. I'm going to go find me an agent. Is that what I do? And I say, I make good money. I'm going to go down and call an agent. We're going to go find some houses. What's the whole process? Where do I start?
First and foremost, you do call an agent. So
Okay.
call me, 240-229.
Slow down, too.
240-229-1398. If you want to buy a house, you want to sell a house, you need a rental,
You say 229?
or you want to invest, 240-229-1398. And then when you call me, we're going to have a client consultation. We're going to talk about what it is you need to do to purchase a house. First of all, these are the things that we will need. We will need a snapshot of your financials, and that's for the lender. The lender also needs to run your credit, see where you are. If your credit is 580 and up, then we can help you out. If your credit is 580 and below, then we're going to work with you to get where you need to go. And we want to know if you have 401k, you have money saved, because if you're doing an FHA loan,
What's a FHA?
Federal Housing Administration
I'm brand
has
new.
guidelines about the loan process. So that's a FHA loan. So that's the best loan generally for first-time home buyers. So what we'll do is we'll see how your finances are and what you have to put down. You may have 401k or what do they call it for TSP for government, or you may have inherited millions of dollars. Now, if you inherited millions of dollars, because I always have clients who say, well, I want to put down 150, 200,000. I say, don't do that. When you're purchasing a house, you don't want to put all that money down. If you want to do that, put it in a savings account for when you may have a hardship to ensure your mortgage is paid. But you don't want to go in and just put down Excuse me.
I got a question now. So if I inherited like millions of dollars, and I'll say, you know what, I have the money. You don't need to run my credit. I don't want my credit. I just want to pay cash for it. I got this money.
And we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about the reasons, that pros and cons on that, and then you'll make that final decision.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I can't make the decisions for you, but I can give my expert advice or lead you to the person you need to speak to about that.
Okay.
But again, we get those finances to the lender. We see what programs you may or may not need or you may be available for, because everybody just don't have money sitting around to purchase a home. So in 3.5% down, what is that? I don't have my phone out. But it would be of the sales price of you buying a house. And we're not going to even say $150,000 because in this area, unfortunately, we don't have any houses for $150,000 unless they are for investors. They are not for people who are ready to move in. The average house in PG County, I would say, is about $250,000. The average house in D.C. ready to move in is probably about $450,000. You see how DC and PG, that $200,000 gap. But like I said, you will need 3.5% of that out your pocket. However, there are grants available, and sellers also contribute to your closing costs and your down payment. And when it's allowed, I also contribute to my client's down payment because it is allowed by RESPA and the lenders at times. Now, I can't give you $5,000 or $6,000. I'm sorry, but I will definitely help you where I can when it's allowed.
Oh, so you can give money?
Yes, when it's allowed.
Okay. So I can use that to close. So once I get my financials and everything, so what's next?
Then the lender will review it, and he'll either give you a pre-approval saying the amount that you're approved for, or he will tell me that you're not ready to go, and we'll go devise a plan to get your credit where it needs to be so you can get there. And that's great to know. Georgia, approximately $150,000 gets you a lot of home in Atlanta, Georgia. And as most of you, I hope you know that we're doing,
Mr. Robbins.
we're opening up IGRC in Atlanta as well. And Carrie already does investments in Atlanta. So if you don't want to go through a realtor, you definitely can go through Georgia House Pros.
Cool. Okay, so once I get approved to the lender, what's our next step?
Then the next step is we talk about what type of house you want, what area you want to live in, what kind of house you want to live in. And what I will say, if yes, ma'am, I sure did. What I will say, if you approve for $250,000 in PG County, that is not going to get you a brand new colonial built from the ground with 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, a garage, a deck. That's unrealistic. So we're going to have some realistic views on what that's going to get you. It definitely can get you a nice house because we have all these great investors out here who are rehabbing homes so they can be brand new for you, and you probably could get for $250 a rehab.
No, you can't get a $250. No, because once we rehab them, we sell them at market.
Well, it depends on how much you get it, because in Clinton, I showed a house a couple weeks ago that was totally rehab.
Okay, I'm thinking.
But
the
not.
you go south to
Yeah,
cheaper.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was a beautiful home. It was a Rambler. So it was the person. It depends on what that person is looking for. So that's why I say you gotta have a realistic view.
Get them a trailer with a deck on it.
But they do have trailers, but
Nice trailers, yeah. That's what I said. We can get them a good
beautiful
trailer with a
trailer.
deck.
But they only about 45, 60,000, and lenders don't loan for anything 65 or under.
Well, we make it expensive. We do a double wide stack.
Or maybe you can finance it for them.
I will. We got on the finances, sure enough. Well,
Hey, Aunt Joan. Hey, Trayvon.
sure will. Hey, director.
But again, give me a call. I'll get you pre-approved in the house that you want to be in. But I want to touch on that voucher program again, because all these folks out here, they have these vouchers and they are not utilizing it to its full benefit. If you have a housing choice voucher, which back in the day they called Section 8. Use that voucher to your advantage. Use it to purchase yourself a home for your family, and then allow Section 8, or can't use that word, sorry, it's derogatory. But you utilize the government housing department to pay your mortgage, 30% of your mortgage for 15 years, and own that house. Own something, I know it's, we've called it the American dream, and it can be an American nightmare sometimes.
Sure can.
But own something. That's something that you could leave to your children, your grandchildren, or what I say is to people, buy a condo. Everybody wants to buy some property, and they want to go to that big house right away. Buy a condo, stay there until your situation changes. Rent that condo out, and then you'll have cash flow to go towards buying maybe your mortgage for your townhouse. Once you purchase that townhouse, and maybe you get married or your situation change, then you upgrade to a single family home and you rent that townhouse out, and then you have another cash flow. Now you have 2 investment properties at that point, and then you can keep doing it and doing it. But as long as you have a house, you have money in the bank. Well, not in the bank, but it's an investment. I always tell this story. The first home that I bought in, what was it? I think 96 or 98. One of them. We bought that house in Capitol Heights for $133,000. I sold that house in 2006 for $295,000. Ching, ching, that's money in the bank all day long. And was it a trial? It definitely was a trial, because I didn't know anything about owning a house at all. Almost lost it. Going through not being educated on the process of owning a home. To be honest, I tell people all the time, I didn't even know at the time how I got in that house. I was like, whose house is this? We done went to close, and they going to come take this house. This is not my house.
A house, though, it doubles in value every 20 years. So if you start off with that condo and then you move into that townhouse, even if you stay in that townhouse for the rest of your life, 20 years later, that condo is double for what you pay for, and it's
Absolutely.
generating income. And you renting out, somebody else is paying your mortgage, because whatever mortgage you had 20 years ago, the rent value is going to be a lot higher, I guarantee you, in 20 years from now. So somebody else is paying the mortgage on the house that you own. It's sweet, you can't beat it. And then, the strategy, you can go get you a group of condos and, use those to generate income to pay your mortgage on your townhouse or your single family home. So guys, don't look down on condos. Definitely don't. And they're very affordable, especially in Prince George's County. You can buy those for very little to no money. And
what about $45,000, $50,000
yeah,
in
some of
some
the ones
places?
needing work, you can get them real good. Just don't go to was it Lynn Hill? Don't go over there and get none of those condos.
They need to just huff and puff and blow that thing down.
Yeah, it's condos are really good for generating income, because you can also use them for like temporary rentals, like
especially
corporate
close
rentals.
to the colleges.
Close to college. That's why I was thinking of one over there, Treetop, across the street from the college. Students and parents will actually rent those for their students for the whole 4-year term that they're in school.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely look at condos, especially downtown DC, well, anywhere you can get a condo. Definitely, if you can get it at a good investment, definitely take advantage of it.
Absolutely take advantage of it. And then for the folks who don't want to sell their houses, but they want to move into a new house, but they don't want to do housing choice vouchers, the new thing is do what?
I ain't going to tell them that. Won't want to let our secret out. You can tell them if you want to.
But, we may tell them next time.
Yeah,
we'll tell them next time.
Yeah, it's something to generate a lot of money.
It's definitely, everything that we do is things that we can teach folks how to generate their own wealth, whether it's starting your own business. I hear feedback from somebody.
Yeah, that's somebody's phone.
Or I can't even think of what I said, because I
that
had the
voucher
feedback.
program is really, really cool. A lot of guys, you don't know that HUD would actually pay your mortgage.
How cool is that? And then you don't even have to deal with all the things that you deal with when they're doing your your rent.
Right. There's no
Yeah.
stipulations, right?
There's no stipulation. You can
Yeah,
refinance.
you can sell the house. You can do
sell
what.
the
But as
house.
long as you stay in that house, they pay you 30% of your mortgage, which is cool.
Absolutely. And then the great thing is you're teaching your children about purchasing a home. And then the generation is not a generation going from Section 8, Section 8, Section 8. Because it's nothing wrong with Section 8. There's nothing wrong with food stamps and Medicaid. God knows I said I wish I had a voucher. I definitely wish I had some
I
food
got
stamps.
all that.
And all
I got
that because I
Section 8
had it.
food stamps, vouchers. I got all that.
And I've leaned on the system before myself, but it's for you when you're in a need for it, not to take advantage.
I need it.
Not to take advantage of it
How can we?
and to live off of it for a lifetime.
I know people wondering how do they qualify for this program? What they got to do to find out about that voucher program? That's something we can help them with, or what's the qualification? What if they want to say, "Hey, I want HUD to pay my mortgage"? What's their next?
They
step?
need to speak with their case manager.
Okay.
And if their case manager, well, from what I'm finding out, is not something that they are willing to share, what's Section 6? Tawana? That's a
Section
new.
6. What is that? Section 6. That's too. You gonna have to elaborate on that
They
one.
talk to their case manager about it, and what I've understood from dealing with a few clients, it's not something that they're willing to always share. So that's why you have to ask them. And if they don't give you any information, then you go to their supervisor. Go to their supervisor. That's one of the things too. You know, we get into these positions where we have this information and we don't want to share it with the community. Well, why are they there? There's so many programs in Prince George's County alone
Yeah.
that can help you open your own assisted living, your own daycare, group homes, shelters, what else?
Everything.
Everything. But it's not stuff that they share. Because I have a class coming up on September 30th. 6 figures in 6 months about daycare. Now, when the daycare opened up in the blind, and because I ask questions a lot, that's the great thing. People think it's bad being a nosy Taurus, but we ask questions a lot. We like to get to the bottom of the information. And because we are so, and I won't say controlling, but we got that boss mentality that we like to be leaders. I'll say that, leaders. That I asked
Born
all
to
these
lead.
questions and got all this information. There's so many resources out there to help people have successful daycares and provide quality child care to the children that the Office of Child Care don't tell you about it. The Department of Education don't tell you about it. And you don't have to have a center. You can have your own house. That's right, Trayvon. We are bosses, born bosses.
But you know, even with the
And yes,
daycare,
you're going to get that house because you're a born boss too, and you're a great, this guy right here, Trayvon Johnson, is a great guy, great young man, taking care of his wife and his children.
that's
Definitely was a motivation, taking him and his family around to purchase a home.
that with that daycare, you can actually, the students or the kids that you have, they will actually pay for that daycare itself. So you really don't need money. You
Yeah.
just need the motivation, the ambition to want to do it. And they got grants. I mean, isn't it sweet?
They can send you to school.
Oh man, they got stuff. They
Send
actually
your workers to school.
You can have it. You can have.
You just need to learn. If you interested in daycare, first and foremost, I say if you're interested in daycare, you gotta have a love for children, not a love for money. I say that about any business. Have a love for it,
That's
or
true.
it won't. You won't have longevity in it. And I did it for 9 years, but I see people working at daycares, and they're bringing home pennies, and they could be owning their own daycare.
Yeah.
They're making somebody else rich at these jobs. Unless you have a career, and sometimes even a career, you're making someone else rich.
Yep. Career should be the fallback on.
Yeah, and when you can open up your own business and
Make yourself
monetize
rich.
your own talents.
Yep.
A daycare, people see people in the little house daycare. People say, you watching them kids, you watch kids. They don't know that you can make $10,000+ monthly watching kids.
Yeah, I know how much it costs. It cost a fortune when I had kids. It's like $1 million a week babysitting.
Right. I think my grandbaby, they pay like $300 a week. And I wasn't even charging $300 a week.
So imagine you got 10 kids.
Somebody said, well, won't you go back? I'm sorry, I don't want to go back.
You got to have a love for it.
You have to have a love for it, and I don't do stuff for just money.
What's up, Sedalia? Yeah, you can't. Yeah, Sedalia, you're supposed to call me. Oh, we getting this. Yeah, so yeah, if it's just like real estate investing, if it's not a passion for it or you just in it for the money, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's gonna see right through you. It's not gonna get you nowhere but a bunch of headache. So you're just wasting your time. So with that voucher program, guys, get in touch with your whoever's in charge of your case down at HUD and ask them about the voucher program. If they can't answer your questions, go above their head. And if they can't answer your questions, go above their head. And they can't keep going until you get to the top. Then if you get all the way to the top, they still tell you, no, come see us. We'll find you. We'll pull the information up and we'll find the person that you need to be talking to. But definitely take advantage of it because like she said, you find those people when they get in those positions, they only share with a select few who they want to share with. And when you come asking about it, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. Like, how'd you find out about this?
Absolutely. And to don't let them people treat you any kind of way. They people like you are people. So
they have
demand
yeah,
your
they
respect.
do have grants. They do have grants. Matter of fact, Prince George's County have grants.
Well,
that you can
Trayvon's actually in Baltimore, so they do have grants in Baltimore. Yeah. But are you saying, Trayvon, because I know you want to buy a bigger house, do they have grants available for you to purchase a bigger house, or do they have grants that can help you with your home?
They got grants that can actually help you, with the repairs of your
right.
home. And they also have low interest loans that they can give you too. So yes, they do. To answer your question,
and where you are, they definitely have.
They got programs in Baltimore.
All types of programs and grants.
Just sitting stacked up, and nobody taking advantage of those programs in Baltimore. Matter of fact, Baltimore loses a lot of money from the federal government every year because nobody's taking advantage of those programs.
I remember years ago. When I was in the working world and I was going to apply for a job in Baltimore, they actually called me off a Monster. And they were saying, hey, if you want to come interview.
Who would call you a monster?
I'm not on monster.com.
Oh, okay.
I can be a monster sometimes, man.
You can.
But they were like... But they were saying, they wanted me to come and interview. They weren't paying a lot, but they were saying, look, we help you purchase a home. And I was like, well, I own a home.
Hey, can you go live? We went dead.
Ooh, we may have lost some folks.
No problem. We still live on Listen Vision, though. Guys, the computer actually went dead, so we lost a lot of folks. So if you listen to it, we'll be back in a few seconds. Yeah.
So can you guys still see me since I know Carrie went?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, because I'm live. It's saying I'm live here as well. Yes, Uncle Solomon, they definitely do. They definitely have stuff in Charles County.
Yep, Charles County, all over Maryland, Guys, you just gotta find the right people to take advantage of them.
Yeah, find the right people. I'm the right person.
Yep,
Call
we're
me.
the right person. What's your number again?
240-229-1398. I'm the right
What's
person.
What's your website
right
if they want to reach you on your website?
www.harrietghawkins@gmail.com. 1 T in Harriet.
Okay.
So they definitely have programs all over. D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Baltimore. Every state is mandated with programs. They have money that's allocated.
Oh, and speaking of that, come October 1st, they begin their new fiscal year. So they got money sitting there that they need to use and spend before the end of September, right?
Absolutely. Yep. They absolutely do. So if you don't know where to go, like I said, give me a call, 240-229-1398. Point you in the right direction to get information on these programs.
Cool. So when is the 6 figures in 6 months? When is that again?
September 30th. And I'll share the link again. Like I said, it definitely is a fee for that class. I would love to do it for free. However, I'm building a business. Just like I want to teach you guys to build a business. And what I have learned over these years of being an entrepreneur, I don't expect anything for free. And you always want to invest in yourself and get a return on that investment, because the reward is going to be so much greater than the couple dollars that you are spending.
Yeah, well, because the thing is that, I tell people, nobody's entitled to your time, whether it's, I don't care who they are. Your time is your most valuable resource. The money, everything else is just material, can be replaced, but your time can't. So, if somebody giving you something of value, don't expect them to give you your time for free, because if they're giving you your time for free, then what you're giving is probably enough, no value at all. You can't use it. So if they're giving you something of value that's going to help you generate income that's going to better your life, be prepared to pay for it. Be prepared to pay for it. You'd never walk into a doctor and say, hey, look, doc, can you go ahead and patch my leg up, for like half price? Can I get a discount on these sutures? No, because the value is, the price is what it is. The same with us, our price is what it is. We don't try to hit nobody in the head for our services, but we do charge a fee, and it's for our time, basically. You're going to pay for information. A lot of stuff that we teach, especially me and Harriet, that we teach, that everybody else charge for. You're not going to get it for free from everybody else. So, we're not charging you a ton of money for the information that we give. Right. If we giving you a business that's going to help you generate 6 figures in 6 months.
And then walking you through and mentoring you as you go through that business. Because everything is not going to be just straight line great. You're going to have to fall a couple times and get back up. You're going to have to what I say is, you're going to have to reevaluate what works and what doesn't work. You may need a business plan. We can do business plans, assist you with business plan. There's so many different layers
priceless
to it.
Priceless.
That once you have that knowledge, you would look back and say, well, woo.
So it's a one-time
underpaid.
fee.
Let me get him a bonus.
Exactly. Well, so you talking about 6 figures in 6 months. So at the end of the year, I'd have made 6 figures twice, and not for pennies on the dollar.
Right. And the thing I'm gonna say about that 6 figures in 6 months, that's your start.
Oh wow.
If you are compassionate about it
wow.
and consistent, you're going to take that 6 figures and you're going to flip it. And then you're going to flip it again and flip it. And then you're going to be where you at and learn about your what? TVT, your target value time.
Priceless. Time is priceless. Give you all your time back, where you can set that business up on autopilot to be running the income generating, and you working outside your business.
Absolutely.
That's sweet, man. I love it.
Even with your cousin yesterday, he said he works for a moving company, but he doesn't like the work.
Right.
He can start his own moving company and outsource the work and make.
Yep. He already know how it's run from being there, working for the company. You know how it's run. You know how they find their leads, how they generate their leads. You know the whole in and out workings of that business. And there's nothing stopping you from doing it yourself.
I think when people think about moving companies, they're just thinking about moving people in households. Do you know you can get government contracts?
We had them.
And start moving for the government. That's a whole nother level
and they just
of money in business.
Government just moved office within a building. We had those contracts and they paid us for everything we picked up. I mean, it was very, very prosperous. I mean, you go in, they just want a desk turned around, they pay for that. You go in there, you be in that one building all day just moving, and don't let them say, hey, we moving to a whole nother building. You're talking like millions of dollars to move these people.
And furniture companies, they contract movers out because
sure enough.
They work for multiple people. It's just so many levels to business once you understand it and you get into business. As I say, I thank God and the universe for putting me in a situation where I can work for myself, because I see it so much deeper than when I first got into it, and the levels in which you can go. Because I just got into the daycare to be a buffer for real estate, and then I ended up, because you can't get into daycare as a buffer. That's where you have to be 100%, because you're dealing with people's children. But it worked out exactly how the universe wanted it to, and the lessons that I learned are priceless. And though I don't do the daycare anymore, I definitely mentor and teach people how to run and open up their own daycare. Because there's so many little mistakes that you can make that will put you in a horrible situation when you're dealing with children.
Yep. Change your mind, change your life. The only thing standing in your way is you.
Yes.
There's so many resources out in this world.
Oh, well, our time is up, but it's been real.
As always.
But thank you, guys. Check us out on Thursday for the
Power
Up Real Estate
Happy
Hour.
Get your happy hour drink.
Get your happy hour drink, because Carrie gonna have some great information for you guys as always.
Cool. Thank you guys for taking time out your day to be with us. Appreciate you. Any final closing words? Your number once again?
240-229-1398. And remember, we are one, and do something today to move you forward to helping your community so we as a people can really be one.
There you go. Peace and love, guys. You get a piece, love it. We out.
Story is one for my brother when I want for myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on. I want all my people around me. Everybody living good. Everybody eating good. Everybody should. I want all my people around me. Everybody eating good. Everybody living good. One for my brother, what I want for myself.
The sun is shining. The air is clear. My folks are smiling. No need for fear. The kids are learning what they should learn. Finally, folks are earning what they should earn.
I want all my people around me. Everybody living good. Everybody eating good. Everybody should. I want all my people around me. Everybody eating good. Everybody living good. One for my brother, one for myself. If there's enough for one, there's enough for two. It starts with me and it starts with you. It's complicated, but it's simple too. Just like patience, sharing is a virtue. Show folks where you stand. Lend a hand when you can to your fellow man. Hold the plan for the day.